Welcome to the Open Mic Podcast. This week we have with us Colton Jones. Say what's up, Colton.
Hi.
Okay. And as always, Jason. What's up, Jason?
What's happening?
Man, I'm glad you came out, Colton. I kind of missed you, man. I kind of miss our weird interactions.
I miss you too. Yeah, we can never take each other too seriously.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
Oh, gosh.
For about 2 years, I keep coming up to Colton and just tell him it's not your fault until he gets upset and leaves.
Oh my gosh, it's really funny until you're in a weird headspace yourself, and then he does it, and you're like, oh my god, I want to murder this man right now.
It seems like a very one-sided relationship.
No, it's not. I started getting him back.
It goes back and forth. But before we get into anything, I want to ask both of you guys a question. Has either one of you ever fully meditated or done a guided meditation?
I've actually been trying to meditate a little bit. I don't know that I'm getting there yet, reaching nirvana or anything, but 20 minutes, at a time is pretty difficult. I mean, and I was surprised at first. It's kind of like being fat the first time I ever tried to do push-ups, and I was like, oh my god, I could not even do 5 push-ups. It's like when you try to meditate, you're like, oh my god, 5 minutes of this is horrible. It's horrible to sit there and just not.
And now you're up to eating a whole box, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you're supposed to move. You're supposed to move forward also too. With over time, you actually progress into be able to do the moves better and easier. I've never done yoga.
No, meditation.
I've never done meditation.
No, those are two different things. They don't make
they
meditation pants.
I guess I associate them together. So meditation, sitting around crisscross applesauce and
I think
like that and stuff.
What I think you're supposed to do is do yoga, and then when your body is in that relaxed kind of euphoric state because of all the dopamine you've released, then you try to meditate. It'll be easier.
Quick question before I even get to my point. There's yoga pants. Do you think meditation pants would be even hotter? They're just so hot they daze you and you just instant nirvana. Then you come to your pants and you get asked to leave the JCPenney's again.
I think meditation pants would just be really aware that they're pants.
And really aware that they're nothing also at the same time.
I feel like they should put you in a trance like meditation could, I guess.
Yeah.
Last week, or about 3 days ago, I'd never meditated before. I did a 15-minute, I found a video on YouTube. It was guided meditation. It was only 15 minutes. And I had never done it before, so I sit down on the floor, like you said, crisscross applesauce, sat there, Native American style.
I would say Indian style. It's going a little overboard there.
No, yeah. So I saw your face too. You expect me to say Indian? Yeah, no. I was Native American style, and I did it. But about 10 minutes in, I started crying.
You really did.
I just not forced, just naturally. I just started crying. I don't know why. I don't understand why I started crying, but I didn't try to stop myself either. I just let myself cry.
I think maybe you had so much tension in your body that you finally relaxed, that you were just kind of having a reaction to that. Like you were just stress release, and your eyes were like, oh, you're going to cry because you're feeling an overwhelming amount of relaxation.
Just had to have a real good cry to
I know the
loosen the.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's just a real good cry to kind of just let go of some of the bad feelings or something. You think may have been the...
It might be that, or it might be the onion rings I was eating because they were really thick onion. No, I'm just kidding.
Also, I just wanted to point out that it would be more accurate to say that doing yoga is sitting Indian style than what we normally call sitting Indian style.
You got a good point there. So what would be the appropriate meditation format to conduct your position?
What do you mean? To what position?
How would you sit? You would sit like that normally? Well, for your argument.
You don't have to. This one actually had instructions, and it said you could sit at the end of your bed against the wall, however you feel most comfortable. But I already had in my mind the sitting Native American. I already had that in my mind. I was like, well, I want to try it. And the picture on the YouTube video, because it's just words over that, it's not like actual video, was somebody sitting like that, and I was like, I'll try it out. It's hard for me to get that position. It's even harder for me to get out of, but I tried it, and it hurt at first, but I got comfortable after a few minutes. I settled into it.
Well, I sit just on my floor normally, but I've also done it in the shower. And I'll run a cold shower, and then I'll sit in the cold until I get used to the water, and then I'll try to just sit there and just take it as long as I can and not listen to any music or anything, just to kind of, I don't know what it's supposed to do, but I've heard it's good for you.
I do that with hot water. I have a shelf in my shower, and of course I'll put Netflix or something on.
I feel like we're getting into a masturbation story here now.
I said shower, right?
He said Netflix too.
Yeah.
What are you jerking off to on Netflix?
Everything, dude. It's Netflix. It's a buffet of sex.
You set the scene with the warm water. I knew where we were going with the warm water.
Hot water. I like my showers as hot as I can take it, but I'll literally stand under the shower head and let it just kind of drip down my face. and I feel like that helps melt away some of the problems for a little bit. Sometimes, not every time, but
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I just want to bring it up. I cried. I've been crying. I can't stop crying.
No, once you get crying a little bit, it's like, and it feels good to cry. Like your muscles kind of like react, and you're like, I always feel like if I have a lot of tension like in my back, and then I like cry, I feel so much better. But it's hard to get yourself to cry in a healthy way because you always feel kind of shitty. You're like, man, I shouldn't be crying right now. I'm wasting like 20 minutes.
Well, I know anytime that I've ever like cried or felt like that, I mean, I just feel like exhausted or drained afterwards.
I cried myself to sleep, and I understand the importance. No, have you ever done that? Like after a breakup or something, like if someone dies that I've literally cried myself to sleep where I've cried so hard and for so long that at one point my body is just feels physically worn out, fatigued, and I just fucking pass out in my tears.
I've done that.
Am I supposed to feel like an asshole for laughing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't.
Yeah, I know you. I don't care either way. I mean, if I cared, I wouldn't say it. But I mean, I don't give a shit.
Well, I mean, we've been roommates on and off over 20 years, many times. So I mean, I've heard you cry yourself to sleep sometimes.
Yeah, several times a week.
Yeah. A lot of squeaking in the bed while you're crying.
Yeah, it gets to the point where I can't go to sleep until I come and cry. I call it crime.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's my crime. No, but Colton, back to you. How long have you been doing stand-up comedy?
Gosh, I think I've been doing stand-up for 4 or 5 years.
Did we start around the same time? Because I'm like right at 5, like 2 days from now, I think is my 5 years.
I would say that like I did Mabel Peabody's. I think Mabel Peabody's closed down close to my 2nd year anniversary of performing there, and that was the first place I ever performed. So that's really what
And you have an album out. What's the name of your album?
It's called Live at the Abbey Underground, but it's not that good. Don't go look it up.
Is it on Spotify or where?
It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. It's on YouTube. It's on all of it. It's on every fucking inch of the internet, and I'll never get it off.
I miss the Abbey Underground.
Yeah, the Abbey Underground was a great bar, man. I miss that place. That space, they keep trying to make something work, but they tried to put the lion and the crown there. You worked there?
Yeah, I worked there.
Oh.
I think it needs to be a separation between what's upstairs and what's downstairs. That's what's holding it back.
Yeah.
Because the downstairs is going to be popping if you just focus on just like a place to go.
That would be the best dive bar in town if it wasn't also having to be a restaurant.
And the drinks are cheap as shit there.
Yeah.
Always had.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I've accidentally walked into raves tons of times at that place.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty crazy.
I've accidentally also walked in on like Metal Night.
I've walked in on different nights there.
Mikey, do you remember the lady that used to come to the Abbey Underground open mic and belly dance?
Yes, I do remember the belly dancer. You should go to Bearded Monk.
She would do 50. Oh, I was the one who told her to go to Bearded Monk. She didn't know about it, and I was like, hey, there's another mic. When Abbey Underground was closing down,
yeah.
I mean, this woman was going out. I don't know her name. I know her. She had like a stage name.
I don't remember her name either, but didn't she have like a belly dance class that she taught also? Like she was trying to get people to...
She still teaches a good belly dance class. In fact, an old friend of mine is married a woman who takes that class every week.
Really?
Yeah, small world.
That's her sewing circle.
I just keep thinking, Latika, no! From Slumdog Millionaire.
Slumdog Millionaire?
Man.
Racist I did the accent?
Yeah.
I'm glad that you took the focus off of me making that statement. So.
Yeah. No, that's fine. I don't care.
I didn't follow it.
I mean, you've been inside of a Middle Eastern person, so is it racist or not?
I don't know. I don't want to answer that.
Okay. I've also been inside a Middle Eastern person.
I've never been inside of a Middle Eastern person.
Can you do a Polish accent?
Can I do a Polish accent? I don't know. What do Poles sound like? I know they're supposed to be...
You did it! That's pretty good.
Well, you're not too far off. I mean, if you were wearing like a jumpsuit and did the Polish accent, you'd almost look like a Chicago landlord.
You think I have a Polish accent right now?
No, I didn't. You said it. Yeah.
What?
He didn't do a Polish accent.
I can do a Polish accent.
Like, you'll have money for rent later, you know? I mean, like kind of Russian-ish a little bit. Well, then it's kind of the same in Chicago. They sound Russian.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could do like a Russian... When I was in high school, I was in Fiddler on the Roof, and I did a really, really, looking back, really offensive Yiddish accent for the whole show.
Let's hear a little bit of it. Give us a little sample.
That's probably exactly what we're looking for here.
Oh, it's so tasteless.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Can I Snapchat this? Is that okay?
All three of our listeners are racist. So
my grandma still has the DVD. She says I killed it. You know, she doesn't know that.
Well, all grandmas are racist, and they're grandfathered in.
Absolutely, dude. I just thought, I was like, if a really good actor would do the voice. And then I just remember, like, a couple years later, I was like, I'm not Jewish at all.
But you're just playing a role.
I guess, but it's still like, it's kind of weird. Like, I did this weird, I literally was like telling people, like, I'm going to try to sound as Jewish as possible when I'm up there.
Well, he eats rolls like a Jew person, so.
What is that?
The souffigniers. I love the jelly donuts, the souffigniers.
That's something I love about anti-Semitism. I never understand where it's coming from. I'm like, where did you get this impression about Jewish people from? It's always a little nonsensical to me.
Well, when you come across Jewish people, they all are actually a little bit different. Like the Hasidic ones act and sound one way. The Hollywood Jews act another way. The suburban Jews act another way. Undercover Jews act a different way. Yeah. The ones that are like really like kind of like closer to the city act another way. You always get a different kind of like a Yiddish or a Jewish or a Hebrew. I notice when you run into Jewish people. So it's hard to like kind of nail one kind of like stereotype over the blanket community.
I guess so.
I'm trying to combine.
You've had experiences with several different kinds of Jewish.
Yeah, with a lot of Jewish people. Every Jewish person I've ever worked for has fucked me harder than the last. One called the IRS on me after he fired me.
I'm not comfortable
and
with
this. They were like,
I feel like I'm watching a Mickey Mouse cartoon from the 40s right now.
Hey, Walt Disney is a saint. Don't you take his name.
Hey, Walt Disney was not a saint. No, he had a mustache. Nobody with a mustache that thin gets up to good shit in the off hours.
Your mustache is pretty thin, dude. I'm not going to lie.
What about Salvador Dali?
On purpose. Salvador Dali? Yeah. Dude, I mean, you're telling me that if your like daughter started dating Salvador Dali, you'd be like, yeah, he seems fine.
Why is he riding those 3 clocks?
That guy is like #1 list for like maybe murdered someone he loved in the middle of the night with a knife. And they wouldn't, he loved them so much that they wouldn't even be mad at him because he's Salvador Dali.
It's artwork.
He's going through it.
Salvador Dali also used to just sign canvases that his students would paint, and then he would sell them for as much money as he could get for them.
See, exactly, dude. Little mustache, little ego, big problems for society around them.
Yeah, no, I'm not racist against Jewish people, by the way.
I'm not racist against anybody.
Hey, look at me.
What?
Wink,
I'm
wink.
not.
Yeah.
He's winking, and I don't want to.
I don't have any problems.
I don't want to be like the New England Patriots and draft a fascist kicker in the 7th round. Okay.
Good call.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
You didn't. You said you have been checked out.
I've not been following because it's obviously not. It's under the radar for me with what I got going on.
Patriots draft this kicker this year in the 7th round, and he has a tattoo on his arm that is like a white power tattoo.
Wow.
And he goes, I didn't know what it meant when I got it. I just saw it at the tattoo shop, and I thought it looked cool.
Oh, shit.
Reasonable defense.
No, I like Fs, and it had 4 Fs.
Is it like the lightning bolts or whatever?
But it was one of the first tattoos he got, and it was when he was like 15, 16 years old.
Which one is it? Is it like
it's something about 3%.
Oh,
he got like a 3% tattoo? What, this kid thought it was for milk?
Well, and I thought, what a better team to go to than the Patriots for him. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to go to the team that has no black wide receivers or running backs.
Kraft is welcoming him open arms. Like, come on.
Come on, brother. They have one black offensive player, and his name is James White, dude. Come on.
That's the only way you fit in.
James White always let me down as my flex. Every single fucking time.
Oh, my God, dude.
There was one time he got like 14 points. That was the most I ever got out of him.
Dude, fucking Bill O'Brien from the Houston is the same way, though. Whatever.
But anyways, move on from sports. Do you have some questions for Colton?
Yeah, so have you learned any particular life lesson from comedy itself since you've been in it these last 5 years? Like, what stands out, like a big life lesson that you were different about?
I don't know. I guess what I've really learned about is how much people rely on their group identity to drive their social interaction. Like, comedians do that more than anybody else. When you go up on stage, you're like, this is who I am, and this is the section of society that I represent, and as the person that speaks for those people, these are the observations I have and, you know, the stuff I like. And people either identify with that or they see that and they go, that feels true, and they laugh to it a little bit. But I think that has kind of like started controlling the way everybody thinks just because of Facebook. But I think comedy kind of showed me that like people are really obsessed with how other people see them, and you know they always tell you not to worry about what other people think of you. But what other people think of you is actually the most important thing in the entire world.
It's perception. It's what matters to you most.
Maybe you're not supposed to focus on the obvious as kind of the mind trick there.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
But I think for comedy, you're right, though. How they perceive you, because if you perceive me as not funny or not good, then what's the fucking point?
Well, I mean, what's credit? Credit is just what Wells Fargo thinks of you, like their estimation of you as a human being.
It's
don't
like
even know
it's a mystic. It's like a mystic wizardry. Or
Yeah,
so
it's like
Yeah.
this guy's worth about $5.90 a month.
So basically, Wells Fargo thinks I'm a murderer and a raper.
Oh, well,
Because I have no.
You're a
my credit's
vagabond
so bad.
to them.
I think that Wells Fargo
Whoa,
would be
was that
sending
an F
you.
or a V?
a vagabond.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I think that if you were a murderer and a rapist, Wells Fargo would be sending you millions of dollars a month so that their owners could go to your private islands and fuck kids with you.
Well, it's my private island. Why would I have other people out there? Why would I bring tattletales to my island?
I'm just saying.
Why not
that's-
buy an island if you guys are just going to?
And you feel comfortable attacking the powers of the New World Order and not
man.
talking about Jews?
I don't, I don't think that Jews have anything to do with it. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's
that was
like,
an everything bagel.
it's easier to blame it on the Jews than just to blame it on the way money works.
Just put some schmear on it.
I'm not going to say no. I don't want no part of that.
Yeah, I'm not
I
touching
already looked
that.
like a racist a couple minutes ago. I'm going to back away from it.
I'm backing up. I'm like a free safety when the pass comes, when the post pass gets, I'm, Ed Reed going backwards 90 miles an hour, dude.
I'm on the fucking bench eating nachos. I'm not even playing, dude.
Well,
Would either one of you guys describe yourself as pretty generous, fellas?
Yes.
yeah.
I'm the most
Here's
humble
why.
also.
Here's why. What was the last gift you gave somebody?
The last gift I gave somebody, I gave my roommate a nugget of weed earlier. Just gave it to him.
Seems fitting.
yeah.
So generous.
It's really good weed.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you just gave it away.
I just gave it to him.
Well,
Hey man, here, check this out.
my nephew's second birthday was recent, and
How old did he turn?
he turned 2.
Shout out.
It was his second birthday, so he turned 2.
Nice.
And
Do you have a good nickname for him yet?
his name is Emmett, and he's the best person I've ever met in my whole life. So I'm just going to call him whatever he wants me to.
Nice. We don't have any just family nickname. Bubba.
I'm not into that.
M-E-M. M-M.
You know what I mean?
M. No.
Because my name's
Okay.
Colton, and my whole life everybody would CJ, Colt,
CJ.
C-Town, and it's like I understand that.
Did you grow up on a 90s movie?
I did grow up in a 90s
Bizzle.
movie, actually.
Bizzle.
I grew up on the set of American Pie 2.
That's
Not the
fairly
original
accurate.
Pie Fucker, the second one.
We were all listening to Nirvana and being depressed, so it was exactly like a 90s movie, if I think about it for a second. Yeah.
What was the gift?
But the gift, I bought him a world map, and I said, this way there will always be a picture.
I'd be pissed off if you gave me a map. I had an uncle who was my godfather who used to give me stationery.
That's a
items
great
for my
gift. That's a
birthday.
great gift.
But I'm like 7, and he gives me a fucking daily planner and organizer with a pen.
All right, how about this one? For his first birthday, I bought him a baby book about Frida Kahlo.
Oh, good. When he can't read. Perfect.
Well, I just remembered that he's a 2-year-old, so that the map is ruined. He's probably rolling around, chewing it.
No, I mean,
Unless you hung it up.
We hang it up,
Oh,
and I bought myself a matching one, and then I printed out the note that I made, and I have it up on my wall where it has a little note I wrote him, and then he has a copy at his house with the note and the map.
Well, egg on my face. Now I kind of feel bad.
Well, it was a good gift, but the
should.
best gift I've given
Oh.
recently was for my mom on her birthday. I posted to Facebook that if anybody wanted to comment a shirtless picture of themselves in the comments, I would collect all of the pictures and send them to my mother for her birthday. And we hit like 40 comments of just dudes throwing shirtless pics up. It was
Nice.
pretty nice.
I should have sent you one. I saw that post. It was pretty funny.
Was there a clear-cut best one?
Well, there's this guy that lives in town here that
Look at
is.
his face light up.
You look giddy as a girl on the bed, just talking on the phone right
You know,
Laying on his stomach with his feet in the air, twirling the cord. with
He
his
looks
feet.
good, and I know he's clear, but I've just always kind of had a small crush on him. But he's way out of my league. He's much more socially aware than I am. But he posted one; it was good.
Nice.
You know,
So, besides the one you want to jerk off to, was there a better one? Was
Like-
there,
like-
was
like
there one
for-
that was creative or
For
funny?
humor.
no, I mean
value,
it's just there were a bunch of funny things, and like a friend of mine that knows my mom commented, like tagged a bunch of my friends that also would know my mom from high school, and they all like got on a thread and they all shared their pictures. But there was one guy, and he's this guy that I've seen around Facebook. You know, I don't spend too much time, but I see comments on stuff. I don't really comment myself that often. And this guy's like, he's a little alt-right to me. You know, he's got that weird kind of like, I would call it a Busco type energy, not to like diss on, anybody, but just that Busco type Facebook approach where you're trying to piss people off all the time. And
We just say trolls. We don't. Busco's not a name, and you don't. That doesn't need to be on it.
okay,
But anyways, we'll just say internet trolls.
stricken from the record.
Yeah, I'm gonna edit it out.
okay, I'll just start
I'll
over
make it sound
again.
like you said then.
I'll start over again. Okay. Beep 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 beep. There's this one guy that posted a picture on there, and he's a guy I've seen around Facebook. He's kind of a troll, I guess. He's kind of an alt-right troll. He's like always going off about kind of posting offensive stuff I think is kind of racist. And he posted like a weird image from like some kind of like porn site where it was like a fat man who had his like testicles like bound, and then his feet bound and his tits bound. And it wasn't him. Like, it's not a picture of him. That guy that posted that, I looked at a picture of his profile, and he's, like, in shape. So he kind of just, like, sent porn to my mom without me really asking for him to do that. You know what I mean? And I thought it kind of crossed the line.
But didn't you send all that to her, or how did she get these pictures?
Well, actually, we're just friends on Facebook, so she just went through and heart reacted to all the ones that she liked.
Nice. Yeah.
But did she actually judge someone? Was there someone she didn't?
She just said, I remember at some point somebody said, we need proof that you're sending these to her. And she commented back, and she's like, I'm seeing all of them, thank you.
Your mom sounds like a spicy lady.
She is not really like that, but she will play along if I start making
That's
jokes.
good. She's in good spirits for it.
Yeah.
I've got one more question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Give us some more.
Okay, well, let's see how this goes. Describe each other using only 3 words between the two of you.
I have to describe him?
That's right.
When I describe you, I'd say bald, balder, and baldest.
Oh, okay.
That's nice.
I haven't seen my back, clearly. I would describe you as, MTV, beach ball,
You look like you're having a heart attack.
I'm trying to think of my last word, and I just want to sum it all nicely. Okay. What were my first 2 words? I might change a word.
You did MTV and
Oh, no,
beach
hold on
ball.
to, okay. MTV, let me look you up and down. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm going to change all of them. All right. Volcombe, Golden Corral, wonderful.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
That's pretty good.
Pretty good to me.
Nice. Not super offensive,
Yeah.
because they're all true. So,
Yeah.
Essentially.
I wouldn't have.
I'll give you a real one. I'll say independent,
Okay.
generous.
I see where we're going here.
No, he is generous. When one of the times my ex kicked me out or broke up with me, he let me stay at his house.
For like 3 days. But also, my roommate's dog had fleas, so it wasn't really that nice.
Oh yeah, I was helping you spread them around. I took him to a few friends' houses. Yeah, but
You're like patient 0 coming out of the house with the fleas.
You know what's
there's
funny?
still people that avoid me.
I did feet pics, and if you look at my ankles and the pictures I did, you can see flea bites all over my
Nice.
feet.
little red bubbles and
I
dots.
thought that was just ankle hurt.
yeah. Well, not on my ankles
What
anyway.
did I say? I said
Just on my underside of my ball sack.
generous.
Yeah, let's get to this now. So generous,
What was the other one that I said?
Independent,
Independent.
generous. None of these are accurate.
And I'm going to combine 2 words for the last one and say silly Billy.
I would say codependent, non-self-sufficient, silly Billy.
For me?
No, for me.
Oh, okay.
you, Colton, have definitely found a way to get the most meaning, I think, out of all the words that you said. Especially, I think that you already hit a home run when you first said MTV, because that was like a full statement in just using your one guess with just one thing.
Yeah, I'm Road Rule Season 2.
Audition video.
And then both of you guys with the compound words, so I good thing it wasn't the rules of literally a word.
I took a writing class like 4 years ago. So.
I'm Road Rules Real World Challenge season. Who can sit on my face the longest? I don't know. Let's move on.
That sounds like a
I don't
fun
feel good about
game.
saying that.
Yeah, we should.
You got another question, or what do you want to do?
Nah.
Yeah?
Yeah, I can do another one. You can do another one?
Yeah.
Let's find another one.
What's your question?
All right. So if you let's see if you could make a rule, both of you guys, if you could make a rule for a day and everybody had to follow it, what would it be worldwide,
Rule for a day.
or just whoever whatever your worldwide?
A rule for a day?
Yes.
Well, I'm trying to think about how much impact I could do in a day. What are my resources? It's just like everyone has to follow this rule, or like I can if I could install like an infrastructure project that I think would really help the world. Could I do that?
You can do one rule, and everybody has to follow it for one day.
Oh God. Okay.
Like everybody has to use a blinker or get shot in the head. I don't want that one. I'm just saying.
That's an example of a rule.
Okay. That's like a good creative question.
Yeah, I don't know what to say really. No.
I think it's
Nobody can watch cable news all day long.
Nobody can watch cable news.
Or Like, you're not allowed to go on any social media for a whole day. Everybody in the world at once.
That would end the world.
Social
for
media
some people.
blackout for one. There's one guy on there still jerking off to your foot pics.
He's not allowed on there. We shut her down. If I could change the world in one thing, I would just demolish Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just like any social media site. Get rid of it. Make them start all back over.
Oh, so gone for a day, wiped out, and then had to start over.
Just delete everything.
That was your rule. Done. Start over if you want to do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll go purge.
For a day.
You're a purge guy?
Yeah, purge.
So purging is good for a day.
I didn't really
Now,
get that.
you can just
No.
purge, or everyone can
Everyone
purge?
can purge, except I'm just doing this because I'm too much of a pussy to actually commit suicide. So it's just easier this way.
You didn't really strike me as a purge guy. There's no Freddy Krueger masks in here or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, no.
You've never trapped me in a 20-minute conversation about the movie Saw before, so...
No, he tricks you with the MTV, Volcom, whatever
Yeah,
else,
I
surfing, whatever.
I bring you on. I bring you in with Carson Daly, and then I chop you up.
Do you wear skate shoes all the time because your feet are so flat that you can't have an arch?
No, no, because sometimes I don't wear shoes.
Oh.
Yeah,
I actually have no arch. I'm such flat-footed. I have no arch.
that was kind of footist of you, dude. Very non.
I have no... I mean, I'm flat-footed, too. It's, we're all
My
part
foot
of
is
it.
like flat on the ground.
It's like if I started making jokes about having a belly, both of you guys would just laugh because you're like, yeah, we all have bellies.
Well, I noticed before when you made a reference to fat people, you looked both of us in the eye when you and then said fat.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like, okay, I know something around fat guys, so I can say fat. I've noticed when I've been in public and I say anything about anyone in a group, and if I make a fat reference, as long as I'm, not the only fat guy, and I'm talking to someone else, I feel like I'm putting that burden on another. Hey, fat people. We can say fat people.
Well,
right? We
yeah.
can say fat people.
I think even if you're fat and there's a skinny person, you can talk about how fat you are. But if they say anything confirming your belief that you're fat,
They're an asshole.
they're an asshole.
Damn them. Yeah.
But I mean,
at the same
I
time, I just have to. But at the same time, I hate when I say something about myself being fat. People are like, "Oh no, you're not fat. You're not that fat." I can see me.
Yeah.
I know what's. I got myself here. Okay, I drove this truck here.
Yeah.
I know what's going on.
I just think
I know how long it's been since I had a vegetable. 2003.
I think if you're fat, your life is being ruined by obesity, so you can make jokes about it because you're already killing yourself.
You're entitled. I mean, that's like saying the N-word.
I think it's a little similar. Yeah, it's like you have the credence there. I mean, my family struggles with obesity, and I'm sometimes when a skinny person complains about fat people, I'm like, there's no way you hate fat people as much as I hate fat people, because being fat is the worst thing about all the people I know.
I don't struggle with obesity. I struggle with finding a ponchos that's still open.
There's one by my house, actually.
Is there?
Yeah.
Where do you live?
North Richland Hills.
It's the last one left.
Is it the one on 157 and 183?
Dude, my dad and my sister went to it the other day. Like,
the
I
one-
was like,
Dude.
Ponchos was open?
There used to be one here in town, and it closed down. This was just like 2 years ago. It's gone. But it's 183 and like 157, right?
It was by the police station or something,
No, it's
wasn't it?
Right off the highway.
that one's closed down. It's like a gateway church now, but they moved it to Roof Snow and I want to say Watauga Road.
Dude, I used to live. Okay, I know where that's at. I
Behind
used to kind of stay over there.
151 Coffee. Do you know where that is?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's in the same parking lot as that.
dude.
There's a Big Lots.
There you go.
Once everything opens back up, I'm the only dude that's gonna go to ponchos.
It was the
And
last
it's all
one
mine.
left. If they were struggling, they might not be opening back up.
Do you know what I would do
think
to
this is
another
also-
human being's body to be able to go inside of a Chinese buffet? Like horrible things.
Depends on the buffet. If they got peanut chicken and fried pot stickers, that's all I really
Fuck
need.
yeah.
Nobody has peanut chicken.
I like
anymore
those-
Can't
anywhere,
find it anymore.
Ever.
It's just peanut butter and chicken. Just give me. I'm gonna start bringing my own peanut butter.
There's one by my house, and it was really actually pretty nice. They had like fresh. They would change the ice like every like hour, and on their sushi line, and it was just so fresh. Like they would like really take good care of it. And they had sashimi. Like you paid $10 to go in, and then you could eat sashimi as much as you could possibly stomach, dude. And I used to go in there and eat like ounces upon ounces of just seared white tuna, and just like go back. I'd get a little egg drop soup, and I'd just get a plate of sashimi, and then I'd go sit down and just eat all of it. It's so good. And I'm like, I can't tell people that I'm doing this at a buffet because it's kind of embarrassing. You know what I mean? It's like not good sushi.
Well, you just told 4 people, us 2 and 2 listeners.
So there you go.
Oh,
Breakthroughs.
Don't egg my house.
Yeah, just egg drop soup is house.
There you go.
I feel like that deserves more. Fuck you guys.
I was giving it a rim shot in my mind.
Yeah,
But
yeah. As long as you don't do it out loud, it's okay if you don't laugh. I hate that.
It's pretty good.
I hate that. Is that a bad message, or what does that say? Is that good?
No, it says we're good.
Oh, okay, cool. Did you have any other of those questions you wanted to ask? Any more of those creative questions? Good ones?
Well, one of the good ones, right? Yeah.
They're all good.
Now, actually, are you more of a gamer? Do you stream?
I kind of game a little bit. I mostly play old games. I'm playing Madden 2008 right now. I ran a franchise for 24 years of game simulated football, and I would change ownership of teams. I won 11 Super Bowls over 24 seasons.
This is fucking ridiculous. Are you talking about your career, your video game career?
Yeah, like franchise mode.
This was the previous career when he
You
managed.
wrote this plan out. It seems like a serial.
Oh, I like
executed this plan.
It's kind of funny. I don't really like I've played Dungeons and Dragons and I really liked it, but I love football. Like I love watching football. I could talk about football. I could literally talk about football all day. But
You're a super fan.
Yeah,
I'm like that about basketball. Yeah,
I've been hearing that a lot more lately. That people are really into basketball.
I see. I'm football. I'm the same way. Like I love fantasy season because I keep track with all the teams, not just my.
I watch basketball games literally every night. They're on almost every night.
I have a bit of an obsessive compulsive personality, and when I think about I have months I go through where like literally I cannot talk about anything but football, and I just like love it. But my franchise mode is going for like 24 years, and I had like been drafting players. Like I wasn't using any online help. I was like really like scouting people and like playing every single snap, even in the preseason, like trying to progress people.
What system is this on?
GameCube, but I played it on my Wii.
Like modded?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
A couple days ago, I worked my way through a 6-pack of Dallas Blonde and turned on my 2008 NFL on GameCube the next day. And I guess I hadn't. I think I turned it off while it was still saving. It takes forever to save the franchise file. It takes you have to like sit there and watch it for like 5 minutes. And I was pretty drunk, and I think I just turned it off while I was saving, and I lost all of the data. Like the game
all
was
that
like,
work.
you have to delete this.
I noticed something. I have to bring this up. When we started talking about football, and you spoke about the football months where you only talk about football, which I get because I'm like all involved and I'm obsessive compulsive about all that shit. But your face lit up just like when we were talking about your crush on Facebook. And that's great. I'm glad to see that. What's your crush's name?
Oh, no way.
Come together.
No way.
Not
No
happening.
way.
Tell me when this is over.
I'll tell you off mic for sure,
Yeah.
but I'm not 23 anymore. I don't have to be like that.
Yeah. 23 and him, not 23 and me.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, next week I'm going to tell on the air who the guy is.
That's really upsetting, and now I'm not going to tell you off air.
No, I'm not. I'll just post it tomorrow.
Although, to be honest, if you took the information, if you were interested enough in my sex life, which you should not be, because it is very boring, you would go to my Facebook and you would see exactly who I was talking about, I think.
Well, I don't. The only hint you gave me is said he had the best topless shirt. I don't know.
That means you're gonna have to go back to the post and look.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're
So-
just trying to get me to like the post.
Go throw your own picture up.
Fishing for likes here.
It's for my
It's too
mom's.
late now. It's over. I can't.
There was a guy who posted one yesterday. I'm like, it's been like a week, dude. It's my grandma's birthday.
6 years that I'm going to post one.
My sister said, Grandma's birthday is next week. What are you going to do for her birthday? It has to be even more special. Maybe I should make a post too. And I was like, no, cock shots for Grandma only. She's over 90 now.
You should have people say just the V right here, like the V right there next to your sack.
Yeah,
The ab shot.
Yeah. When I saw your post, I literally took a couple pictures of my butt crack, and I was gonna comment with that, and then I just decided I literally put it in there, and I almost commented. I was like, no, stop. It's too far. It's too much. But I think some of the stuff I almost post is better than anything I ever post.
Yeah.
I can tell because.
Oh, I'm not like that.
What?
Luke was talking about that the other day. He's like, yeah, I went to my drafts on Twitter, and I found a button where you can post all your drafts at once. And then he was like, so I posted, and it was 140 tweets. And I'm like, how have you thought of 140 tweets that you didn't send? Anything I can possibly think of to post online, I do. I'm just so depressed that I have days at a time or weeks at a time where I don't post at all because I just have no creative energy, and then I
do the same. I'll go for a week and I won't post anything. I'll get on, and the only thing I'll do on Facebook when I'm not doing social media, because I'll do Instagram every day. I don't post something, but I'll get on there and look around. But I do post multiple times a week. But anyways, I get on Facebook and I see whose birthday it is, and I go through it. If I don't really know that person or it's not someone I want to see, I go through and unfollow. I use that as like my unfollowing tool. I'm like so political, like Game of Thrones-ish on who I say happy birthday to, because there's people I know and that we're mutual friends with. On their birthday, I'm like, yeah, fuck this guy.
It's funny that you mentioned that because I've carried over from since we've discussed that and you told me about that idea. I do that on my personal page too, and so when I see people's birthdays, instead of saying I'll either say happy birthday or it's fucking happy death day. You're gone. You're done. You don't make the cut.
You got to clean it up, and it's hard to sit down and just go through your friends list. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I'll lose the spot because I'm stoned. But it was an easy way for me. Like some days there's 15 people I got to unfollow, and some days there's 2.
Yeah,
and it's just easier that way. But I go through the same thing. I'll for a week straight, I'll post 4 things a day. I'll make all these videos of my stand-up stuff, and I'll post it. And then I'll get 3 likes while I see other people getting like 80 likes for like, hey, I found a mustache hair. And people are like, oh, that's so funny. And I'm like, I made a video. I produced a video for you. It's only 1 minute long. I made sure to keep it under a minute so you can look at it on Instagram without having to click that thing and follow on to the rest of it. 1 minute, here you go.
It's kind of like I used to have a friend, and we would do karaoke together. And one time I was trying to learn a Nirvana song to sing, and he said, I asked him, I was like, how does that Nirvana song sound? We would go do karaoke every week. I love karaoke. I'll go do it all the time. But we would go out, and I asked him, how's that Nirvana song I'm singing? He's like, I don't really like it, man. He's like, you're putting too much effort into it. Like, it's not cool that you're singing that song because you're like trying so hard to sing it good, and like Kurt Cobain would never do that shit. And I feel like Twitter and Facebook, Facebook doesn't work like this that much to me, but Twitter and Instagram, it's like the less effort you put in, the cooler, the more people like it and stuff.
With Facebook too, like seriously, I'll even tell you, I'm not going to tell you who's posting now, but there's people specific posts I see that they'll post something dumb. Hey, look at my ear, it's shiny, and they get like 240 likes, and I'll put like this deep thought into something. I'll write something, and I'll find a picture, and I'll crop it, make this art, and do this whole thing, and I get like 24 likes.
Well, do you think that may also play into their following that they've also built of fans, and particularly? I mean, that's just obviously. Yeah. I feel like in what I've seen, I'm not a stand-up comedian, but from being your friend in stand-up comedy, and I just see what I see personally in the scene, what I see for myself. A lot of comics are not very supportive for each other. They're not willing to like I've said before to some of the comics that I've met, just hypothetically, if everybody would just share, like, subscribe, and just had a community of just doing that, I mean, that would like boost and promote each other. That's like the given. And everybody's usually like on board, like, yeah, that's a great idea, and then you just see that they're not even doing it.
Yeah. A lot of it, I think, is politics. It's a lot of political. They'll like and comment on the people's stuff that they think can give them upper hand, or that they think it's good for them, or whatever. I feel like that's part of it. Also, I know I'm a realist. I know I suck, and everything I do is shitty. So that's probably a big part of it.
No, I don't think that's true. A lot of times people will say that they like something on Facebook. Like, I'll post something that I think is really, like, these memes I've been working on in my house. I'll post one of those and I'll think, oh, nobody liked it, or it got little likes, and then at work somebody will be like, oh, I saw that thing you posted on Facebook, that was really funny. I'll be like, you didn't even like it though. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Why didn't you even do that? I guess I guess more people don't react.
Yeah,
and then, like, I think I've even seen you post this before. Like, I hate when people will comment on one of my posts but not like the post.
Yeah,
but they'll interact on it. I'm like, hey, the fee is clicking the button. All right, that's your ticket in.
Dude, on my mom's birthday shirtless post. People went and liked photos on it, like other people's photos, but they didn't like the post that asked for the photos. And it's like, you can't just reap the rewards and not feed into the system. Like, it's just like not investing in education or something like that. Like, you have to water the roots.
It's like Johnny Drama brought Vince out to Hollywood, then he fucking took off. And now I'm sitting here as Johnny Drama still, and you're not liking my post.
Unspeakable.
Go ahead. I brought you Vince. I gave the world Vince, and you gave me nothing. That was a moment of silence for Johnny Drama. Anyways, let's move on to the open mic. Getting kind of tight on time. But what we're going to do, you have a topic for me that I don't know, and I have some topics for you that you don't know. So basically, riff on the topic. I give you the topic, and if I have something after, I might riff on it. And then once all that's over, we're going to do, if you have a new joke you haven't done on stage, doesn't have to be any certain topic. Okay. You can do it then. We can workshop it if I have notes. If I don't, give it to you, whatever. And same, I might have a new one, and then we'll do that. But you're the guest. You get to choose. You've done guest lists before. You know how this works, right? I give you a topic. You tell me a story, or just do whatever you do. I gave you the batter. You make pancakes. But you get to choose. You want your topic first, or do you want to give me my topic first?
I'm gonna give you your topic first.
Okay, I respect that.
Okay. Your topic is. I'm trying to think of one off the top of my head. Ooh. Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton. And dude, what was the thing he used to say in Duplicity? God damn it, what was it? Oh, I wish. I don't know. He's my least favorite Batman.
Really?
I'm Batman. He's the funniest Batman, I think, though. Other than Adam West, but I mean, as far as movies go, Michael Keaton, he's just always pretty much the same character.
No.
What do you mean, no?
No, I don't agree with that.
Tell me why. Okay, well, there's Beetlejuice. It's him either with or without the makeup.
You
He
cannot
always
just
has
say,
the
well,
same-
there's Batman and there's Beetlejuice. He's always the same character.
He talks the same, like his mannerisms and his acting and his speech.
He's an
Even
actor.
in Jackie Brown, he had the same fucking little tells as he.
That is literally true about every single actor on the face of the planet.
But I will say, in the defense of he is very similar in a lot of roles I've seen, is where he still has that kind of like kind of chewing the gum, kind of. Hey, I'm just here with you, Doc.
Just
Hey, I'm
like
just kind of
Jackie
here with you,
Brown.
Doc. I'm here to help you, Doc.
When he was the ATF agent in Jackie Brown, and he's just he has that same the way he talks. He's just what was it? It was when he's going through the bag. He's like, huh, what's this right here?
Well, I guess that's what he brings to the table, and when they're hiring him, they're okay with his personality overlapping into, because that's probably his personality overlapping into his acting.
Any good actor, any good director, I think, should know that you don't cast people so that they can put a bunch of makeup on and transform themselves into Stephen Hawking. You cast people who have a natural energy that reminds you of Stephen Hawking, and then you tell them to play their objectives and tactics in a Stephen Hawking costume, but to be like, go overly pretend to be Stephen Hawking. That's like, that's any
acting.
character. Yeah. That's not acting.
But think about this. Gary Oldman, you could line his characters up in a lineup and you wouldn't recognize him. He looks fucking different in so many different ways.
But if you
From
listen,
Fifth Element,
even if you watch him, he still does the same facial things. There's certain things he does with his voice that he uses.
I've analyzed
Yes.
it. Different accents, everything.
I've got somebody that does a lot of different characters that's very different. Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
Lots of different characters, and I don't feel like
From
he carries
Ocean's
much
11,
personality
Troy.
into some of these characters.
I think that
He's an acting
They're all
vessel.
unique.
He doesn't have a
A
personality.
lot of them are very unique. Well,
okay. So I'm not
Shout out
saying
Brad
that,
Pitt.
I'm not saying that actors are the same way every time, and
Sure.
they do they have their own relationship with the character that they have to manage. But I just think that telling someone that they're like, when they play like a historic character, to like put them in a really bad place in a performance where they're like mimicking that person instead of just kind of like, I don't know how to quite say it. Like Joseph Gordon-Levitt played Bruce Willis's son.
Jogo Lev. That's
Okay.
what we call him here.
Whatever.
and I love the chin in that movie too. The chin was perfect.
The fake chin,
Oh
right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I don't know, man. Sometimes it felt like he was kind of like detached because it's like he's doing a Bruce Willis thing instead of just like trying to.
Looper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
well,
chin was. They gave him a big butt chin.
What was the gun called? Blunderbuster or something?
Yeah, Blunderbuss.
That movie's awesome.
I love that movie, Looper. That's one of my favorites. Well, that topic, I'm going to be honest, I didn't like it. It was dumb. I'm just kidding.
No, it was a shitty topic.
Moving right along.
No, I got a few topics for you though. So
Okay.
maybe you can have another one for me or whatever.
Maybe
but
I'll come up with
I have
one.
a few. I only have a few for you because I like your perspective and I like your stand up. So I just want your response to some of these. First one I'll do
God.
is racism. Has racism ever worked out in your favor or against you?
Ironically.
I don't know, man. I got suspended when I was in middle school for saying something racist. I got suspended for like 3 days from middle school for saying something racist to somebody once.
What'd you say?
Dude, it's really, really upsetting. I don't
We
like.
don't need to revisit the specifics.
Well, we're not saying it as a thing. It's just
Basically,
reading a
what
script.
transpired, and I told a student that I would not pick him for popcorn reading because he was black, and I wanted to pick somebody who was white like I was. And my teacher was half black. It is just a horrifying situation. And I said it, it's that thing. You're like, I said it as a joke, but also like my family is kind of backwoods a little bit, and I just had been around a lot of that stuff. I was living in Rome, and I just, like, a lot of my friends would say stuff like that.
Rome, Texas, not fucking Rome.
And they're probably really racist in Rome, Italy, but I know for a fact that they're racist in Rome, Texas.
Confirmed.
Definitely.
And I was just growing up around it, and I said it as a joke, but then, when I moved, my mom was like, okay, we're going to move back to where I grew up, because I know the high school that we moved to, I don't know how much of this was related, but I know that my mom was feeling a lot of anxiety about some of the stuff I was saying, and, like, just stuff I was hearing around like, I remember when Obama got elected, my aunt and my uncle were in front of me, and they were both drinking whiskey pretty heavily, and they just went off about, I mean, they said the N-word just flagrantly in front of me.
I grew up around that too. I grew up in Waxahachie, and, like, half my family is all redneck hillbillies from Kentucky, and the other side's Mexican, and they're more racist than the white people.
Yeah.
And
everybody is racist. I mean, even like that's racism doesn't. That's kind of like. Do you know who?
A ton of times racism's funny. Sometimes that's why it'll never die, because people won't let that power go and just laugh at it.
I read this fascinating book called Trick Mirror: Reflections on Self-Delusion by Gia Tolentino, and it talked about how feminism or sexism isn't something that, like, you're not a sexist and you're not a sexist, but sexism, like, exists above us in the idea space, and we all interact with it every day. And, like, racism, I think, works the same way. And I just think I was, like, interacting with racism every day in my life, and it kind of became, I was building it as part of understanding the world around me. But then I moved to a school that was minority majority, and I had a lot of black friends and friends who were, from island nations, and just all this, really diverse class. And that was really good for me, because it kind of woke me up to, like, how shitty it was to say stuff like that to people.
So racism did work out in your favor.
I would say that because I was really racist once, it has forced me to advance my view on what racism is.
And so he learned his lesson. He should be forgiven.
I want to give you another topic.
Don't cancel me for that story, please.
No, but they'll have plenty. I got other secrets.
Oh, God. That's probably true. I mean, I should be canceled. If you're going to cancel anybody, cancel me.
We'll go down hand in hand, cancel them. Cancel these men. Hey, we're double negative. We canceled out. You can't cancel us both. No.
Is that how we get on Ari Shapir's show? I don't.
This is the other topic I want to give you. Have you ever gotten what I call a lover's wraparound? Like when you're dating a girl or someone with long hair, and you find, like, one of their hairs wrapped around your dick, like you go to pee.
Oh, yeah.
And they're not even around at that moment. Or, like, I've had it around my nipple and felt like it was going to pop off like a skin tag.
Well, I mean, I've been in the shower.
Right? It set in. You had to think about it for a second. Like a skin tag. You wrap a string around it, pops it off.
I wish it was that easy.
I have a lot of body hair, so I've dated a lot of women who have a
lot of body hair?
A natural amount of body hair. And
but you clearly know the difference between yours and someone else's.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember one time I was in the shower, and I my butt was uncomfortable, like it was itchy, and I was in the shower, so I just kind of put my hand up there and felt around, see what was going on, and I pulled out like a really long strand of hair that had like been rolled up in my balls, and then like gone up in my butthole and was like tickling my butthole.
It was a reminder, like, hey, you're gonna lose your balls.
And it was really long, and I was like, where the fuck did this hair come from? And then I remembered that I had gotten a blowjob in my car the night before.
Nice. Figured it out.
Yeah, I've had that happen before. I've been like gone from the house all day long, and it's like late at night, and I've been gone since morning, and go to pee in a bar, and or like in a bathroom in a bar or wherever I am, comedy club. And then I noticed like there's a hair wrapped around my dick, and I started unraveling it. And this thing was like 3 feet long. It's like it connected with other hairs and made a quilt, like it was trying to escape.
Oh, like it was trying to strangle your cock.
Yeah. But it was just weird because I was like, I was so drunk, I thought it was coming out of my dick. And I was like, what is this?
That's the tapeworms. In my cock.
I was living with somebody for a while. I got kicked out of my house because I'm a retard, and I was living kind of with her. And dude, we would sleep naked because that's the best way to sleep.
I can't do it.
Dude,
paranoid.
Oh my gosh, I always sleep naked, and especially being bigger, just that keeps it dry downstairs. You know what I mean?
I stay pretty dry down there.
I sweat a lot in my sleep, but I used to My back is really hairy.
You just got to turn the air down, man.
Yeah, man. I turned the air down, and
I bought a fan today.
Pay
I
those few
barely
extra
put
dollars for the bill.
Yeah.
You know.
I barely put the blanket on me. Sometimes I'll roll over and just have the blanket on the. I'll have the fan on my back, and I'll wake up freezing. But
when I was living with her, though, I noticed that I would find her hair in my back hair. You know, like when you like trim your beard and it gets like stuck in your chest hair.
yeah,
Almost like Velcro, where it's like in there like Velcro.
Yeah, it's like
it's like
wired
cross
through.
stitching, like she's making them a scarf.
Yeah.
I've got 2 spots that I find in my wife's hair. It's definitely going to be either wrapped around my junk or if I ever wear this undershirt that I'll wear that's like dry fit. Her hair, I guess the static electricity of it will travel around and get stuck right in my belly button. I have to dig that.
It's kind of sweet. You're like picking it out.
Oh, there's your hair. Nice.
Do you have a deep belly button? You have
I kind of do have a deep belly
I have
button.
a very
Yeah,
deep-
it goes probably I'd say about in between to the past the first knuckle.
bro,
for sure.
right here for me.
Oh, nice.
The same area.
Deep belly button club.
What
here.
about you? You got an innie or an Audi?
Oh, it's an innie. It's deep. It's knuckle deep, dude. You
I
can-
want to know.
I've been doing push-ups,
I've said this
Mason.
before. You've heard me say this for years. I could fill my belly button with peanut butter and pour chocolate over it and pop out peanut butter cups.
There we go.
Like king cups.
That's not appetizing at all. I don't know if you thought it was going to be or
No.
That's only for someone special who
Well, I
wants
wasn't
that.
trying to invite you in. I was trying to keep you out.
ET phone home.
Let's wrap up the open mic. Do you have any new jokes that you want to do? I have one I can do real quick. If you
Yeah,
need
do
one
your new
today.
joke real quick.
And this one's dumb. I just scrolled through my notes on my phone to find one because I didn't have anything new.
I don't have my phone on me.
But we've all seen those late night infomercials, like for the frying pans, which look really cool because nothing sticks to it. But then they like start hitting it with a hammer. I'm like, I've never had that pasta. Is it any good? Like, what recipe is that for? And then when they start using a blowtorch, I'm like, what is that recipe? I've never had that. And that's all I got.
That's pretty funny because they're using all that shit on it and just like, why would I encounter that in cooking?
Yeah, why are you hitting it with a hammer? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I think the pancakes are flat enough. I think you nailed it already. I'm so stupid.
I think in the right context, that could definitely be funny. You know,
Yeah.
because it is one of those things that make you say,
Yeah. Well, I'm scrapping it since you said that. Fuck it. Do you have any new jokes you want to do?
I'm trying
yeah,
to think.
I'll ruin it for you if you'd like me to.
Yeah. He made weird eye contact with me and didn't laugh when I said it, so definitely ruined it for him.
I was trying to follow it. I think I don't understand what the relationship between the hammer and the pancakes is.
On the commercial, when they
starts
when they do it with the
hitting-
frying pan, like why would you ever hit your frying pan with a hammer? First off, why would you hit it with a hammer? Why would you do a blowtorch right on it? I mean, other than cooking, and it's not
Oh,
that
I see,
same
I see, I
level.
see, I see.
Like, why are you hitting this pan with a hammer? You can't flatten the pancakes.
You could roll it over with a truck, and it still folds back.
Yeah,
and shit,
I've never
you know,
brought
it's
my
just like,
car in and turned the oven on.
how would I ever accidentally roll over the fucking frying pan?
I
And
have.
good thing if I do, it's still in good condition.
Also, they burn chocolate in it, which I'm glad to see it doesn't stick. But who the fuck fries up chocolate? Like, I'm fat, and I've done a lot of weird things with food that I shouldn't have, and I should be in trouble for. But I've never just put a bunch of chocolate in a frying pan.
Maybe you should.
Why? I just eat the chocolate. That's one step I don't need.
Deep fried chocolate. Think about it for a second.
Oh, I've had deep fried chocolate. It's delicious.
You've
But,
gone to the fair.
but they didn't do that. They just put a bunch of chocolate in this pan and burned it. I have done the other thing with the cheese, though, where I'll just burn cheese to a pan, and then I'll use the cheese as bread on a grilled cheese sandwich.
That's good.
Yeah.
There's a name for that in Michigan. It's like oompa.
My
Oompa.
Oompa.
my buddy
Oompa.
Elias at work,
Oompa.
Oom, like,
Doompa-dee-doo. I've got some more calcium for... I don't know.
yeah.
I used to work with this kid at Buffalo Wild Wings, and he on the grill in the back, he'd go, you want a grilled cheese? I'd be like, sure. And he goes, what flavor? And I was like, what? And he goes, what kind of cheese? I said, pepper jack. And he literally took a slice of pepper jack cheese and threw it on the burger grill until it was burnt and crispy. And then he rolled it up and he handed it to me in a little roll. And he's like, grilled cheese. And I tried it. It's pretty fucking good.
It's low carb too.
Yeah, really
I
good.
love burned up cheese. My mom used to burn everything, so most of my food is burned.
Dude, burnt cheese kind of
Burnt
good.
cheese is fucking really
Top of a
You can buy
lasagna?
it, like at the more expensive, like Market Street or Whole Foods, where they have like a fresh thing of burned Parmesan.
Mm-hmm.
They're called Parmesan crisp, and it's just burned cheese, and you just eat it like chips.
Well,
It's like $9, but it's fucking good.
I think I know what my new material would be when I get out of this. Like what I want to talk about. And I've had to go back to delivering pizzas since I used to work as a waiter. and now I deliver pizza.
So you don't like DoorDash or Grubhub or Uber
My
Eats
registration's out of my car,
No.
but I've already worked for this pizza place in the past, and when I applied, they just never checked it, and I haven't said anything.
Dude, I've worked most of my life as those kind of situations I weasel my way into.
I'm about to get my stimulus check. I'm going to go to CarMax and just, hey, do whatever the fuck needs to be done to this car, because it's starting to get pretty bad. But I've been driving around a lot, and I keep seeing all these companies that are thanking me for being an essential worker in the time of need, but they don't offer me anything. You know what I mean? Like, I saw a tweet the other day, and it said, I like how ads have gone from buy a Toyota to this is a strange and difficult time for all of us, buy a Toyota.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The point is still clear.
Yeah. But they just keep, like the other day I delivered to this lady's house, and her next door neighbor had these big signs that said, thank you, essential workers. And as I get out of my car, this is like out of a cartoon, dude. I get out of my car and there's a family, like a full family, beautiful family walking by with like, just an average American, blonde wife, tall guy, one older girl, child, younger boy, child, just like a movie, like a Jason Bateman movie. And as I'm getting out of my car, the wife says, thank you for all you're doing for us, feeding everybody. And I said, oh, thank you so much. And the guy's like, yeah, man, you're doing great work. And I'm like putting a mask on, putting gloves on to get the food out. And I walk up to the door, and it's I have to get it signed. That's why I'm putting the mask and the gloves on. And the guy tipped me $2.
Well, yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
He doesn't fucking care at all. And it's a guy who's been ordering from that place forever. But what it's like a local place, so a lot of our customer base is very much older. Like, it's just like it's not a local place. It's just a small chain. It's Jet's Pizza, and I also work. It's like the weirdest workplace that I've ever been a part of. Most of the workforce is 18-year-old kids who work the front, and there's one kid there, and he's my favorite. Like, I'm really nice to him. But he's a weirdo, dude. Like
That's why you're nice to him. You're hedging your bets.
Well, he's like this tall, skinny kid. If you saw him at any point, and he's not wearing any makeup or anything, but you'd be like, that kid does goth stuff on the weekends. Like, he just has that look, that like
those tall, skinny, lanky goth kid.
Just kind of dark eyes.
There's one at every pizza store.
And he has the most, and I'm not saying this to be offensive, because we talked about it a little bit. I'm gay or whatever. I've hooked up with men, so I'm not going to hate on anybody, but the most effeminate voice I've ever heard in my entire life coming out of this kid. And he's like a 5'11", 18-year-old. And then one time I'm sitting there and I'm talking to somebody else about fantasy football, and I'm just trying to get a read on this kid. He's very quiet. I'm fascinated by this kid. And he goes, we were talking about fantasy football, and he goes, yeah, I had Derrick Henry on my fantasy team this year. He's going to get me in the final game. So then I started talking about this kid. This kid knows more about football than almost I do. I mean, not as much as
Don't give him too much credit.
I do a lot of reading. But then there's another guy that works there, and he's 57, and his wife is 20. And he showed me a picture. They met when she was 14. He showed me the second day I ever worked with him. He goes, have you seen a picture of my wife yet? And then he showed me a picture of his 20-year-old wife, which was the background on his phone.
Oh, nice.
And he goes, her 21st birthday is later this year. I can't wait to get her drunk. I'm like, this is just the worst conversation.
Those are things that gay guys say about their girlfriend when they haven't told everyone else that they're gay. I can't wait to get her drunk.
No, I think he's a creep, dude. I think he's like a pedophile. I think he's been like grooming this lady, dude.
Grooming her?
I talked to another driver about it, and he's like, yeah, he said a lot of weird.
How old is this guy?
This guy's like 57.
Oh.
She's like 20,
I missed
dude.
that.
Just out of curiosity, just rolling back on that thought. So, as an essential worker, if nobody's, everybody's thanking you and thanking you and thanking you, that doesn't actually buy your coffee or get you a McMuffin or anything like that. You just appreciate, sounds like probably just to get a coffee, have a McMuffin, have one of the wives flash their tits. I mean, anything that's just like, have a guy wiggle his dick out. I mean, I guess
it's kind of thin to thank me, because it's like, I'm not a nurse. Like, I didn't train in school for years knowing that I was going to take on a dangerous job.
Yeah.
But I was working at a restaurant, and they were like getting me to work at a restaurant as long as I could possibly get it out of me. And then once I'm done working at a restaurant, now I'm delivering pizza, and they're like, thank you so much for working. And it's like, I just didn't want to apply for unemployment because I don't have a child. But then my sister applied for, I would say I've been working 30 hours a week, just trying to stay employed. And my sister got unemployment. and she gets $700 a week right now. And I've just thought to myself, like, I should have just fucking gone on unemployment, dude.
You can still get fired, dude.
I mean, I'm trying to get fired. You know, I'm on this podcast, like, shit talking my poor. Hey, his name's Wolfie. He groomed a 20-year-old. And when I asked my boss about it, he was like, yeah, I mean, and she's fat too. And I was like, I don't think you understand why this is disturbing to me.
You should just tell your boss, be like, hey, my registration's out. Can I borrow some money? And when they're like, no, be like, okay, I guess I'm fired.
Yeah.
And then go get that $700.
They should fire me. My registration's out. But apparently,
you should be fired from Jet's Pizza, Colton Jones.
Fire Colton Jones from Jet's Pizza so he can get the really good. And I'm not saying the problem is not that my sister gets $700 a week, because I've lived on my own, and if I wasn't making $700 a week at that time, I would have been fucking dead. Like, I would have been out of a house. Yeah, I mean, it's really expensive to be poor, especially to like own a car and stuff. You need that much money.
You know, I will say about Jet, I really like their pizza, but it always gives me the shits. Real bad.
You get the deep
Papa
dish?
John's both gives
Yeah, I think so.
You can't put down that many carbs and then blame the food.
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, deep dish isn't supposed to be that much bread. True deep dish, it's fucking thin and it's flaky because it's Bisquick. I know that because Jason's from Chicago and we've both been to Chicago. And
well, it's not a Chicago deep dish.
It's not a Chicago. Yeah, it's more like if you ordered like what Domino's used to have their deep dish.
They call it
like passion for Chicago's deep dish.
They call it Detroit style deep dish, and it is really good. Is there one out here? Because I mean, they're not closed yet.
There's a Jet in Flower Mound.
No.
So let's go ahead and move on. We're going to wrap up the open mic. You got a crime story you want to do for us?
Yeah, let's see here. So the headline was that man made a woman watch the movie Roots to confront her racism within. Okay?
You forced her to watch Roots?
Yes. This gentleman will post his picture.
Look like an offensive lineman.
Looks
like Larry Allen.
Like a dark Suge Knight. Like, hey, I'll make you watch Roots, bitch.
He looks like a goofy Suge Knight, though.
I saw that guy at a gas station a couple days ago in a Miami Dolphins jersey, and he said hello to me really loudly when I walked inside.
Nice.
That's every 7-Eleven in Fort Worth. That's who's there.
Luckily, it wasn't this man.
I love that guy.
He lives in Iowa, so he was arrested Monday after this is just happened after being accused of employing an unusual attempt on a woman who he felt was prejudiced and discriminated against him. Reports that he's facing charges of first-degree harassment and false imprisonment after he allegedly held this woman against her will. He made her watch the miniseries Roots, which is a 9-hour program. Now, this is the 1977 Roots, mind you. He didn't even have
the fucking long one.
Didn't even have the decency to let her watch like the 99 version. That was only like 6 hours.
It's almost as long as.
I have to ask real quick. Because you guys will post this on our social media, but there's a black guy. And the lady, I'm assuming, is a white lady?
Caucasian woman?
No, she's East Asian.
Nobody gives a shit about white.
Yeah, she's white.
She's a honky.
Yeah.
She's a cracker. She's a hooster dude.
She's the man. Yeah. So his reasoning for this was he mandated that he needed her to watch this so that she can completely understand her racism and how he felt. So they had some interactions, like, I don't know if it was business, doesn't specify his business or home, but they had interactions together. Now, she tried to escape a couple times, and he had told her to remain seated and watch the entire series, or else he'll kill her. And her bitch-ass white ass.
Yeah, but watching this entire season is killing me.
He said that he would kill her and he would scatter her body parts all across the highway, and she believed he was capable of doing it. It reiterates that it's not clear how they know each other, but she obviously watched the rest of it, escaped, contacted the police, they found him, arrested him, and this is ongoing now.
He looks like he probably worked at like wherever she works. Like maybe she was a boss or they worked in the same building. Or maybe he's like the security guard or the maintenance man in an office building, and she was probably just someone who worked there, like worked for the leasing office. Was always like, Daryl, pick that shit up, or talking shit to him or being a bitch.
The only thing I can think is that how much better would our world be if both of these people could get therapy?
Yeah, it's needed. It's in my imaginary scenario, I think that she might have been like a landlord of where he stayed, and maybe that's why he had her come over and held her hostage or against her will. And
I can understand that because
maybe
not even
he
racist
loved her.
We've had some shitty landlords.
Maybe she's like the aunt or mother of somebody he cares about, and he's like, "Nah, you racist bitch, you honky, watch this shit."
Maybe it's his baby's mama's mama.
Maybe.
I'm uncomfortable with the voice you use, but I do want to say
it's an Outkast song.
I do want to say that maybe he loved her, and he was like, we could be together. We could be something beautiful, but only if you watch all of 1977's Roots all the way through so you can understand what I've been through. And she was like, I don't want to. And he's like, look, I love you. So you're going to do this. I'm going to make you do this. So, I mean, it's a lot of damage interacting with each other.
I bet she's like, I'm never using Tinder again. Fuck this shit.
Or maybe they don't know each other. It sounds like that guy has a personality disorder that he needs to go to treatment for. And it has, not much to do with the film Roots after all.
Yeah. Also, this is why they got rid of casual encounters on Craigslist. Thanks a lot, sir.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Making it dangerous for folks.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get roped in to have to watch 9 hours of a miniseries of any fucking thing I don't care about.
That sounds like a Plenty of Fish date, not Tinder. Tinder, they just would have fucking got it over.
Did you guys ever actually use casual encounters?
I saw it there. I never used it.
Stuttering there.
I never used it. I've actually looked at it. My wife and I, ironically, my wife and I, we used to actually, when it was around, look at it together and just
It's
laugh
funny
at some of the funny
sometimes,
shit
yeah.
that was on it. Yeah, we bonded over that while we were dating.
You've used it
I've used it.
to hook up with people?
I one time it led into hooking up with somebody.
Nice.
A woman?
I think so.
Supposedly.
I don't need lights on. We just get in there and do our thing.
Hey, a hole's a hole.
Yeah, we're like a couple of underwater welders. Me and whoever I have sex with. We get down, we get undercover, and you can't see anything, and then the job's done.
I think people talk about that being gone, but
That
Grindr.
deserves more. I know that's a great analogy.
That was pretty good.
I'm going to use that on stage.
People talk about casual encounters being gone, but Grindr is a much worse place than casual encounters was.
I feel like it's like you remember that Dave Chappelle, the one episode where he went into the internet, if the internet was real? I feel like that's what Grindr's like, just with a bunch of gay dudes. But it's just like a lawless land.
Oh, it's a nightmare, dude.
And nothing against gay people. I just know that on some of those sites from gay friends that I have,
Oh yeah.
Guys on there, they're all guys, they're all the same, they all want to have sex with guys, and they're just in there hey, you want to fuck? Okay, then fuck you. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
And they're just fucking, there's no bullshit, there's no games, there's none of those fucking me writing a whole paragraph to some chick on Tinder and then she writes back with, yeah, it's cool.
Well, and there's something to be said.
Hey, do you want to do this? And it's they get it done and they move on.
Yeah.
Some of them are in there.
Hey, listen, we're going to get AIDS or not. Let's get this fucking
Yeah.
going,
We all got it. It doesn't matter. It's fine. We're God's real children.
It's so strange. It's a strange place, and I've had some very concerning encounters there about of my own health. But I have used it.
Well,
It's
good,
all right.
good thing they're gone. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure something new is in its place. And,
Grindr's still around.
yeah. Oh, I'm saying the casual encounters from Craigslist, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All those people have moved to Grindr.
Gotcha. Okay.
I think that's what's good about casual encounters over Grindr is that you had to sign up for an email address and apply, and then you had to kind of know how to work a computer to use casual encounters.
I said kind of a funny thing with my wife that it was about that because we were looking at downloading different things when we got our new phones, and if you already had Grindr once before on an iPhone, it has the little cloud next to it.
Yeah.
So the iPhone kind of tells on you if you've stumbled in and
I mean, yeah.
took a look once.
Listen, if somebody got into my phone, that would not be the only clue that there
Yeah.
was some gay
No, I just thought that was kind of funny. Yeah.
in my sex life.
But I think also too, casual encounters was only good until these dating sites turned into apps because they used to just be there was Plenty of Fish, OkCupid, but it was all .com. It wasn't really an app, and that's same with Craigslist. But I mean, it's funny just the level of what you get. How Craigslist is like the Kmart of shopping, or you can get on Christian Mingle or eHarmony or something like that. One thing I did want to bring up earlier, because we're about to wrap this up, and I forgot about this, but when you were talking about, you said something about ads, this is a weird time, but
Yeah.
still buy a Toyota. I don't know if you guys, I don't know y'all's porn habits, but I go on X videos because it's just got a mix of everything. But there's ads now from Jerkmate is one I know specifically that talks about staying home and jerk off with us. It's just funny how they updated, and it's even just the production value was fucking, it's better than normal commercials, straight to the point. But I just think it's hilarious. It's quarantine's got you down, jerk off with us. It's
Let's
all
get
kinds
you
of-
back up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but
Let's
every
see.
single brand is doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
They're actually they're giving away premium for a free on Pornhub for a week free on Pornhub, and I've seen people say like this is actually a better response than 90% of the companies that possess goodwill in like the public marketplace. Like Walmart has an ad that they're running on the radio right now. If you listen to 105.3 The Fan, they have an ad, and this is literally the whole ad. I know it from memory because it plays all the time, and it's the most upsetting thing. It's just so subtle why this is just the shittiest. They go, "This has been a difficult and strange time for all of us. Walmart would like to thank all essential service workers and healthcare employees during this difficult and trying time. If one of our products can help you, you can find them online at walmart.com or go to a Walmart store near you."
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I've changed the channel at that point.
Now, Walmart doesn't give a shit about anybody, even their employees. Like, I've been to Walmart a few times.
There's no raises.
Yeah.
They don't have masks for these people,
No,
and
it's
then
like
they're
no mask,
on
no
TV.
sanitizer, no gloves, no nothing.
It's like,
Absolutely.
just make sure during these trying moments when you have to go spend money and acquire things,
Yeah.
make sure you do it at our stores because we want that money.
Yeah.
Some of the employees, I was in customer service returning a shirt that I had stolen, and the employees had a shopping cart full of toilet paper that they were hoarding for themselves, which I understand. I mean, that's when I had the conversation, like, they're not giving you all gloves or nothing. She's like, no. And I was like, is there any more toilet paper back there? And she's like, this is the last of it. And she actually gave me one that I could buy for myself. And she would have given me more, but I was like, nah, I'll just get one. But I wasn't even mad at him for hoarding that toilet paper. I was like, y'all should be getting some kind of perk. You're making less money than a lot of people who get to stay at home. Not get to, we have to. But nothing. I mean, did she get raises? I saw like Aldi was hiring for like $17.50 an hour at their warehouse and like $13.50 starting out their store.
Well, I feel like most companies and brands and everything everywhere is kind of taking advantage of what's happening. I mean, like, with Sims, for example, is giving away expansions for like minimal pricing. Animal Crossing on Switch, is like a huge blowout. Switch itself is a giant blowout.
Because it's still more
All
money for
stay-at-home
them.
things. What's amazing is that I would bet that all these people that are staying home and quarantined, it would be strange to not see like housewives and people you wouldn't suspect that might have signed up for the free Pornhub because of the week, the
Yeah.
promotion they did. Because it just made sense, and I'm home, and might as well, and just do
Yeah,
it.
stores out of beans, might as well
If
flip
everybody,
mine.
if 30% of
Stepped on
everybody
that
is
joke, and it was good. I just want that to be recognized.
sorry, if 30% of everybody is giving you $7.77 a month instead of $39.99 a month, but you only had 1% of the population, now you have almost 15% because of this, just based that's random bullshit. But that's just
That's a
Still
successful
profit.
model.
Yeah, it's still
definitely.
profit.
Yeah.
It's still money.
It's like you go to the board. They go to the boardroom, and they're just like, it's very sad. Time's over, but we made a bunch of fucking money.
Well,
Yeah,
It's
we
like-
are up right now.
I'm not saying that you can't sell products to generate the economy. Like, we need to be doing that. Even if we were a planned economy, we would need to be doing that. But if you're going to run a bunch of commercials where you thank me, why then do I make less money
Yeah,
than...
give this dude a latte or some free condoms.
We
or
should pay, like-
show him that luscious V right there next to your
How many people are in essential
Some.
jobs that just a couple months ago we were telling people, fuck these...
Yeah.
You don't deserve
You're
to make as much money
Not
as...
tipping anybody and still treating people like shit. I think it's funny. The motto I had stuck in my head, and I didn't want to do it on the open mic part because it's not a joke, but it used to be, and you'll remember this, Jason, because we're close to the same age. It used to be hugs, not drugs. Now it's shrugs, not hugs. You can't hug anybody. It's basically illegal.
So sad.
Thought for the day.
Yeah, I thought you guys would find that more humorous. I'm just not funny today. I'm just gonna
I'm sorry,
go
man.
back to crying in my room. Let's wrap this up.
Was this a good episode? Was
Good
this as
idea.
good as your other episodes?
All right, so thanks for listening. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, it was fun, dude.
We'll talk to you after the show.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Don't worry, we're not going to release this ever. So. I'm just going to say, yeah, Colton kept saying the N word, so we just didn't even.
That's not accurate, though.
But we know.
Yeah, I know.
No, I think it was a good talk. You coming in and having
I've
a
gotten
good
really
conversation
good at,
with us.
I think it was good. I've gotten really good at editing audio too, so I can just take those different sounds from different words and create it from your voice.
That's not good. I don't want to hear that. Don't deep fake me.
Kind of
now.
like a Max Headroom, kind of like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'll smooth it out.
Okay.
I'll adjust the volume. I got some ideas.
Nice.
No, dude, thank you for coming. Tell us, you have a podcast too. I mentioned
Yes.
that at the beginning. What's your podcast called right now?
Podcast.
Yeah, what's it called?
My podcast.
What's it called?
My podcast.
Dude, where's my car? No, I'm just kidding.
There's
So it's-
a bunch of episodes up. You don't have to pay any money. Like they send me 15 cents a month to have my shitty little podcast feed. So if you want to come listen to me call my friends and then fuck with my soundboard and try to piss them off, come listen. It's fun. I talked to Mana. We had a great conversation. The most popular episode is that chat with Liz Splat. And then my podcast and my album are both on Spotify, which I would also recommend because it's good.
All right, and it's literally the words "my" and "podcast."
My
right?
podcast, yeah.
And then your album is called what again?
Live at the Abbey Underground, and the artist name is my name, Colton Jones.
Colton Jones.
And the picture is my foot. It's from my foot picture collection that I did.
That's my foot. We cropped it in.
So scroll through until you find the picture of the foot.
Yeah.
It's a foot smoking a cigarette. It's pretty recognizable.
When you find that foot, sit down and kick it.
But don't listen to the album. Listen to the podcast.
I'm going to keep doing these jokes. I don't care. I think they're funny. No, thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Also, don't forget to follow, like, subscribe, find us on the web. We're literally everywhere. I'm finding more places that have picked us up that I didn't even submit to, like Google Podcast. We're on there now, Stitcher, and all the other places, iHeartRadio, anywhere where you're already not listening to us, we're there. But you can find us on social media. The Instagram is at the Open Mic Podcast. That's Mike, M-I-K-E, just like the name. Same on Facebook, just search it. And Jason, what's that Twitter?
Open Mic 5000.
Open Mic 5000, and that's it. Anybody got anything else you want to say?
I enjoyed this. Thanks.